right here goes out to all the floaters. Floaters. Floater baby floaters. Yeah. It goes something like this.
I'm sorry, my floaters, for you feeling chill. Never meant to make your tank so cold. I apologize a trillionfold. I'm sorry, my floaters, for you feeling chill. Never meant to make your tank so cold. I apologize a trillionfold.
Colder, bolder floater, gonna doubt me. Doing things like opening up the pump controls and adjusting them on their own without me. All right. Hey there.
Hi.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you.
Not you, audience. You hang out there for a second.
Yeah,
I'm talking
just
to
chill.
Ashkahn.
We're having a conversation.
Yeah. It's been nice recording all these podcasts with you.
It's been nice.
Yeah. It's too bad it has to come to an end.
I know. If only it didn't have to end on November 29th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing, I guess, is that it's going to end on a high note with a crazy call-in episode.
Yeah, it should be really fun to have people calling in live.
This is between me and Ashkahn.
Yeah,
you
if you could just mute.
Yeah, ignore
Get
that.
out of here for a second.
We don't even need you there for the episode. It would be better if it's just the two of us, I think.
Yeah, doing voices of people calling in.
So that's what we're going to do.
My name's Tom Fine. I have a question.
Yes, Tom, what is it? Cool. So but definitely join us. If you want to hear more about why we're shutting the whole operation down, check out our special announcement episode, which happened about a week ago.
It's called Special Announcement.
Yep, you can go find it, and you'll hear us blather
Just
on
Google
about it. Yeah.
Special Announcement. It should pop up.
Yeah, right there at the top. And in the meantime, we got a question for today for us to answer.
Yeah.
Which is the basic
I'm
premise
excited.
of the podcast.
Oh.
It's actually, this is a fun one. This is a fun one today. If money were no object, what would it be? No, sorry. If money were no object,
concept.
If you had millions and millions to spend on a single center, what kind of cool, normally impractical stuff would you do? Yeah.
Yeah. So many things.
Robot attendants.
Yeah. Like a salt cleaning robot. Probably we would have to have.
Mr. Epsom, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's like some that are more realistic that we've actually looked into before we realized they would cost.
Let's start with the
prohibitively
realistic
large.
ones.
Okay.
Like that would actually, like I wish were affordable so that our
Yeah.
float center could actually
Yeah.
just have those.
A giant, amazing jellyfish aquarium.
Would be super cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Like just imagine staring at some like huge jellyfish after your float with like crazy, neon lights hitting them.
Like entire, 10 foot by 18 foot wall
like
behind your
aquarium,
desk.
like you go to the
giant,
city aquarium.
Yeah.
Like that jellyfish exhibit
That'd
in
be
your
so
lobby.
cool. Like
Be nice.
rooftop enclosed lounge with like full garden.
Yeah,
area,
like a bubble, like a kind of like a bubble top.
Yeah, like a bubble top. You just
Yeah.
go out there, you're with plants, but even in wintertime, if it's snowing outside, like you just get to chill in the row with warm tea and like look at the outside area.
Yeah, that sounds pretty nice.
For
Automobile float.
what?
Like a floatomobile. Like we could take, like, you could actually, the end of your float would be you being driven back
wait,
to your house
what?
in
Oh,
the
I
float
see.
tank.
I went from
So
not
you
understanding you to also not understanding you, but thinking
Your
I did.
float would finish and you'd pop out, you'd be right at home.
Yeah, that's it. Wait, now I'm confused.
And dinner would be cooked for
Wait, the
you.
float tank would be in a truck?
It'd be it would have wheels itself. Like,
So
it
while
would
you're
be-
floating, you
while
actually
you're
get
floating,
transported.
You get transported, but it'd
Also
have like
transported.
gyroscopes and stuff like that.
Right, look
so
up
you can't even
gyroscopic
tell.
pool table.
Yeah,
if you
and
haven't
you'll see
seen
what
that
we're
before,
talking
by the
about.
way, yeah. I mean, so you could have a float tank on a cruise ship if you could put it on a gyroscopic table.
Really, really flying float tanks. Like I want to be instead of sitting in a chair on an airplane, I want to be spending my flight time
It takes
floating.
so much more than just millions of that's even beyond the scope of the question that we're answering.
I said
It's
money
supposed
is
to be
no
ridiculous.
object. Like
That is true. It's not. It's just an idea at
yeah,
this
it's
point.
just a concept.
No,
so
I like
yeah.
float tank on an airplane.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
I would say
flying
actually
floats.
one that I also think would be realistic if I had enough money would be just a straight up float tank outside. Like
Yeah.
you're in the middle of a forest, you're
Yeah.
like 10 miles or more from any kind of civilization.
Yeah.
And your float tank has the ability to have a transparent ceiling. Mm-hmm. Like you can block it out, one of those like touch panel things
That, like,
where it
makes
turns
it
dark.
opaque, like
yeah,
smart
like so it's
glass.
either like closed in and dark, or you touch it and you just open it up and there's like a big night sky
Yeah.
out in the wilderness.
Into it.
Yeah, that I think would be amazing. That's one of our business partner, Christopher Messer's dreams as well. Like we've had several conversations about how amazing that would be. He actually has like sketches he's drawn up in a book for that one.
One that I want real bad that like I feel is going to happen someday. You know, we're not even in crazy land at this point.
Yeah.
The self-cleaning float room.
Oh yeah.
Like I just want it to be set up where like, you know, you just hit a button and it goes and like everything, the whole room is desalted and sanitized and clean, and like a new towel pops up out of a towel injection system.
The old towel pops down. Towel injection system.
Yeah. Like man, that's going to be great.
Yeah, you just swipe a card. You go in there. The room takes a picture of the room before and after you go in, so you know if someone's been irresponsible. You could streamline the whole thing really well.
Yeah. Or even, I mean, we don't even have to take it to the point of like a totally personless float.
Well, I want to. I'm going to, if that was your idea, is not totally automated, I'm going to say like, yeah, you have a person back at HQ who's like hours away in a different city.
Okay.
And they're just running these little isolated.
And then we have
themselves.
robots that are really good at talking to people that are just there to like chill with you
Steven,
afterwards.
you don't even need robots for my system.
But chill out robots.
I mean, they'd be cool. Money's no object. Sure.
Money's no object.
Send the robots. Yeah, send them in.
Robots. The chill bots.
I'll say another one that I think would be cool. I would love to have a float center where I had enough money and enough space that we could both build giant soundproof walls that are distant from each other, but also just walk in between those walls. Like full, 4-foot gap. So that if you ever need to do plumbing repairs or you just want to go see if there's water damage on the inside of your walls, you just take a stroll there in between them.
Oh, that would be cool.
You know, double stud walls. And then same with the ceiling where you have a nice suspended drywall, you know, drop ceiling kind of coming down, but you have full access up above. Just full access anywhere. Like anywhere there's a backside of a wall, you can go in and look at it because you built your wall cavities or ceiling cavity to be that big. I
mean, just like good enough soundproofing that you actually wouldn't have to worry about noise at all.
I mean, that
would also be amazing.
To be honest, I mean, that's the thing that most people run up against with money, right? It's like getting to like 85% soundproofing.
But no one's going to go to the point where you could just be like yelling in your lobby or have like a party going on in there and people will be able to float without any problem.
That would also be my
that'd
ideal,
be amazing,
though.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
no, that'd
just
be
actually
so
do
cool.
whatever you want.
Not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And then some kind of safety mechanism, so if someone's screaming in the room, that we can still hear them, you know?
Well, there'd be a robot in the float tank monitoring.
I've always thought that just having like really nice delicacies available when people go out of their float would be really nice. Just like really pure cacao chocolate that people have access to, or like just, you know, some things that like where you don't have to raise your float up to $100, $110, like free, like fresh squeezed juice.
Yeah.
When you get out of the tank, just like really nice sustaining or very pleasurable flavors in your mouth, you know? Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Here's another one. This is more like a lot of money would help you deal with the impracticality of this, which is that it'd be really nice to have floats never have a set length.
Yeah.
Like people can just float and then just get out when they're done floating, instead of like having to have a schedule because we need our business to run with some amount of efficiency so that we don't go out of business.
No, that's actually a very cool one. We tried like hard when we were first opening up Float On to figure out the logistics of that. And it turns out you just need a ridiculous amount of float tanks. Like there's no shortcut to making that work. But yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, that's for a long time how I floated at night, you know, back when we weren't open 24 hours and we could actually get into float tanks at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But, you know, hopping in a tank and just not worrying about any music coming on or about the float ending and being able to get out whenever you want is a really cool experience. It's actually my personal favorite way to float.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's like sleeping without waking up to an alarm clock. Like, it's how it should be.
Yeah, agreed. Being able to just send people home with their own free float tank. Like, oh, here's a Zen tent. You enjoyed your float? Yeah, have it.
Don't worry about it. It'd be really bad for our business, but yeah.
I mean, money's no object. It doesn't even matter if our business survives at this point, you know?
So we don't need to have a float center. Here, okay. Olympic-sized float tank. Like, I just want a humongous float tank that I could push off of one wall and just like, because I love that feeling. Like,
if money's no object, you know, what the heck? Have it be 10 feet deep.
Yeah, right? I mean, that would really be cool,
Even though it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but I would like to know that there's that much float tank water below me. But I really do, like, one of my favorite things to do in the float tank is, like, push off from one edge. Because you feel like you're, like, going so fast. I mean, you're only going, like, you must be going...
a centimeter a minute or something.
Because there's no other way that it would take me that long to hit the other side. But if the feeling of, like, the silky float water going past you makes you feel like you're flying through the clouds. So to be able to just push off hard and, like, keep that momentum up, yeah, that sounds cool.
Having different therapists / professionals around just for processing pre and post float. Like, I think it'd be really cool if someone got out of the float and they just wanted to, like, chat with someone about what they'd experienced. And they have, like, an art therapist and an existential therapist and a cognitive behavioral therapist to choose from. And they can just, like, hash through their experience that they had and then maybe hop back in the float tank.
And, like, a sandwich bar. So you could make whatever sandwich you wanted for your therapy session.
I mean, not everything has to be additive. You could just, sandwich bar could be your idea, not, like... therapy with sandwich bar.
But I feel like they go better together.
Well, should we talk about some of the impractical ones, or
wait? I had another one
of ones you actually want.
Yeah.
In addition to sandwich bar therapy.
Yeah.
It just seemed like we were tending towards the more outlandish ones, you know.
No, this one I think is really realistic. Elaborate pranks on people. Like, if we had enough money to, like, construct a replica, like, float room connected to the door of the float room someone went into. So they open the door and they walk in. There's just, like, an exactly identical float room that they walk into instead of the lobby. And, like, their clothes are sitting there on the counter. And there's, like, someone in the float tank and it's a robot that looks like them. You know, like, really...
Yeah, or, like...
to really get people, you know?
Or, like, they come in to float... and you have just, like, really obvious calendar on the wall, like, marked with the date and some plants on the counter. And they go in and they come out and you've, like, changed the date forward 10 years and everyone's wearing shiny V-necks now. And you switch out the plants for big plants. And you're just like, oh, my God, they finally came out. Like, how was your 10-year float? Yeah. By the way, we own tankpranks.com. So if any of you actually accomplish good tank pranks, send them in. We'll publish them online.
We'll put them on there. Just waiting for that site to get going.
I mean, yeah, there's just so much, like, it's the kind of a cool thing about floating is that it is nothing. Like, it's you're doing nothing. So adding to that is really easy, right? You can almost imagine anything that you love. Actually, another one, just as an example of cool things you could add on is, and I actually do want to do this sometime at our float center, which we can do in a few of our tanks, but I want to have live musicians in the lobby just performing for whoever is floating that wants music to be piped in.
Yeah.
It's like if the music ever comes on at the end of your float, that's someone in the lobby just playing that music, you know, for you.
That does sound awesome.
Yeah.
Like a sandwich bar there for you to listen to eat while you're listening to the music. I get it.
Okay, I got, what are, you got some impractical ones?
No, those are just the full list of everything I would want.
Yeah. So I want a non-saltwater float tank.
Oh, yeah. The fucking, like anti-gravity
machine.
We need anti-gravity machines.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the water's not, like, there's definitely something to being in water.
I like it.
But I would ditch it if it came down to not having to deal with salt.
If you could have an anti-gravity machine.
I would
or
ditch
just
the water
enough
to not have to deal with the
anti-gravity
salt.
that you could have fresh water without the salt water, and just give
like,
enough anti-gravity.
Like showering and everything. I mean, it definitely would be cool to just be able to, like,
go in fully clothed, nothing, shoes on, just like hop in the tank
jump,
and just floating there.
Just,
totally,
like, it'd be awesome.
So
you might have to have like a bunch of magnets attached
investing
to your
in the
body
research to make anti-gravity possible. If money's really no object, like.
That would be cool.
I've thought of this before, though, and then I started thinking about the problems that we have with current float tanks, and I'm like, oh my God, what if an anti-gravity machine went on the fritz? Like,
there's a black hole in room 3 again. Like.
Doesn't sound good. I mean, it's infinite. There's so many cool things you could do if money were not.
I would pay someone to come up with more ideas for what to do with all this money we have.
Yeah, probably Frank from Float Tank Solutions. If you're familiar with Frank, he's just an idea machine.
He would certainly name all these projects.
I mean, and you know, honestly though, one of the cool things about running a float tank center and running your own business is money is an object. You know, it's not just an idea, but you can still kind of do whatever you want obviously within some certain bounds. It's like, I
feel like nothing we've said here over the scope of this episode is something anyone could do.
I mean, think like you could have a sandwich bar as long as people just had to pay a little bit for the sandwiches. You know what I mean?
Well, the sandwich bar
you
by
could
itself.
have an anti-gravity machine. It's it is. I mean, I do think that if you put your mind to just thinking of your ideal space, you'll probably come up in the course of an afternoon with some cool things you're not currently implementing at your center that you might be able to do.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean,
like kombucha we have for people.
Yeah, on tap for our members, and there's lots of cool things you can do, and you're actually probably more in control of amazing ideas you can implement for your floaters coming in than you think you are. Self-cleaning robot rooms.
I mean, that's just coming. Like that's going to be here eventually.
All right. Any last zany ideas to add to this before we wind it down?
You're going to find another zany idea in our show notes, written by Juliet.
Yep. And I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say 2 zany ideas.
Yeah. And in addition to that, in our show notes is going to be a small essay explaining the 3 main reasons that the USSR collapsed in iambic quatrameter.
And a hand-drawn portrait of Ashkahn, drawn with Juliet's left hand. So you have those to enjoy if you want to go check out the show notes.
Great.
Also, if you have your own crazy ideas and want to send them in, or your own realistic ideas you do if money were no object, we'd love to hear them. We'll even read them out loud on the air. So go to floatanksolutions.com.
/ more money, more problems.
Wait, what? /podcast.
I would pay someone to create redirects for me whenever I wanted them. That'd be another thing.
I think Juliet knows how to do redirects. But if I'm wrong, she'll put the correction in the show notes. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.